Now, I picked up these with a whole bunch of other ones. These should get us a bunch of money. These are fairly scarce, they're candid, and it's something that just doesn't show up very often. Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to look at some items that I run into fairly often. It's something that has made us a lot of money. It's something I've talked about many, many times before. Now, I picked up a whole bunch of photos from the 1915 Panama Pacific International Exposition. That was the World's Fair in San Francisco in 1915. One of the buildings is actually still there and still used. I think it's the Palace of Arts. But these are some photos, and these are candid photos, and you can see the name of what they are. These are typical of what you will find. Now, these have been cut down. Somebody mounted them, and to me, it doesn't matter what they're mounted on or anything else like that. The photos are real. They're real photos. They're real candid, not mass-produced at all. These were basically captured by a family that went there and traveled to the area. Now, I have a whole bunch of other ones as well. I'm just going to show you just a few to give you an idea. Now, if these were postcards, they would be worth some decent money, or larger, obviously, they'd be worth a little more. But candid ones like this, I have done exceptionally well. The older the World's Fair, the more they will go for. So like in 1904, St. Louis World's Fair would go for more. The 1893 Chicago World's Fair, you'd jack it up even more. CDV from the 1876 World's Fair, you know, you're talking some major, major bucks the more you go up to it. This is the Oregon building. Again, it took place in San Francisco, so Oregon was right there, the state of Oregon. And here's just another one. And you can see someone wrote what they were on the bottom of those. You can see on this side here, actually, the solarization reflection, so you know it's a real photo. But these are angles that I have not seen before from the exposition. The exposition, you can find pretty much anything, and I do mean anything that you could think of from that time frame. We've had scarves, dishes, a dustpan, and a little tiny broom like a crumb dustpan. Geez, tour books, pencils, which I've sold pencils in the past for hundreds of dollars, tape measures, thimbles, spoons, even sterling spoons, forks, china plates, and then each individual place that was there will also have things that were for sale, like souvenirs. Tourist items have been around for hundreds of years, thousands of years. So that's another area tied with these that I always, always, always look for. Let's hop over to eBay and just look at a few other items that you could find from the Panama Pacific International Exposition, just to give you some ideas on value and what to look for. So we're just in eBay, and I'm just looking at the sold listings. We're not in Terapeak yet. Just to give you an idea, now, a gold coin was released for the Panama Pacific Exposition. This is a quarter eagle. It's one of the rarest ones from this time frame that you run into. Over $6,000 for the one you see up there. Now, tokens and things like that can go for some insane amounts of money, as well as you see. There was even a silver $50 that was issued. Many, many tokens. You'll see some hanging, some with ribbons and the whole works. Some of them would be more like badges that were given out. There's also paperweights, ashtrays. Here's an example of a paperweight actually right here. But if you spend just a few moments, you're going to see coin stamps and all sorts of things valued at some incredible prices from just this exposition. Now, I've talked about most of these. Pennants sell extremely well. A pennant from the Pan American Exposition can sell for hundreds of dollars. Certificates, paintings, photos, box silk art from some of the exposition buildings there. These are all things that you can turn up. Now, here's an opening of the Panama Pacific International Exposition. It's a pennant as well. There's watch fobs. You name it again. Some of the stamps are worth hundreds of dollars as well. Here's some photos of just the Toyland aspect. Just a few photos just from Toyland, 9 of them. $175 basically. In fact, we'll open those up just to give you an idea. Whiskey stone jugs. Here's a medal, as you can see, from the Elks. Lots of places would meet there. Lots of organizations, fraternal and the whole work. So again, here's some more similar ones opening day, you'd have badges from some of the expositions. There were guards that worked there. They had a train that was there, so you'll see items from a train, uniform pieces, swords, all sorts of different things can be found there. I would honestly recommend taking a look, going through this section, and just seeing the type of things that show up just for World's Fairs in general. Postcards, booklets, pocket knives, pocket watches, stereo views. The list goes on and on and on and on. Anything you could think of. Some items are worth far more than other ones, such as a ticket. Some of the tickets had the person's photograph on them. Those are worth some pretty decent money. Most anything from this fair or fairs that happened before this are worth some pretty good money. Here's another interesting item that I've talked about in videos as well. This is an elongated cent. Someone put a penny in a machine, it stamped it out with an example from the Panama Pacific. Now you'll also see some items marked PPIE, and that is it. So if you don't know the terminology, you don't know PPIE, you're going to miss the whole aspect of it. PPIE obviously stands for Panama Pacific International Exposition. So again, take a look through here. There's posters, there's sheet music. Geez, the amount of stuff that was put out for this is horrendous. Now, photo-wise, I've got around 27 images, all taken from the Panama Pacific International Expo, and this is just another group that somebody else took. Toyland was a huge area. There was a lot of stuff going on at the park, and a lot of these represent things that you would see at Toyland itself. Some of these are smaller panoramic views of the actual fair itself. As you can see, there's 3 long shots which are almost identical. Now the Toyland ones are fairly scarce. Anything that says Toyland from this one here is worth some pretty good money. Now one other thing I would recommend everybody doing, and I've talked about World's Fair many times because there's a ton of money to be made. We've sold thousands and thousands of dollars worth of World's Fair items, and they sell all of the time. Let's just type in World's Fair and just see what happens here in Terra Peak to give you an idea on the value. So once we sort it from highest to lowest, I'm actually going to lock it into collectibles. So we'll sort through here. And in collectibles, there is a World's Fair section as well, and it's under historical memorabilia. So if you click there, you're going to see fairs, parks, and architecture. You click on that, and it's going to narrow it down to fairs and expositions. And then you've got World's Fair right here. Now you can pick the specific World's Fair. It's got from 1876, which I believe is technically the first modern day U.S. one that's happened. And then it goes on through there. It doesn't have every single one separated the way it is because some aren't as collectible as some of the other ones. But just clicking on World's Fair itself, you're going to see some value in here. Over $1 million worth of World's Fair items have sold. Some from the 1964-65 New York's World's Fair. Unisphere plastic storefront display model. So this would have been in a store. Lots of interesting things. Louis Vuitton U.S. trunk catalog from the 1893 World's Fair. Lots of interesting things. I would honestly, if you've never messed with World's Fair items, take a little while and dig through here and look at the vast amount of things that show up. Now, depending on the fair, some of the lamps are just fabulous. They're designed to look spacey, like Saturn. They're frosted. Just wonderful pieces of artwork in my book. Paperweights now. I mess with paperweights as well. Matchbooks. Anything that I sell, you can find from a World's Fair, and the value is there immensely. Bumper stickers, regular stickers, even light bulbs advertising at the fair. New forms of light bulbs, new forms of electrical devices and things would also be found there. Most fairs had various buildings where you'd find, say, toys, electricity, transportation items, items from ethnic cultures, Native Americans, from other countries. Lots of other countries would be there because it was the World's Fair, so you could find all sorts of collectibles. Most of the other country exhibits that you'd find at places like this would also sell items from their country. So this is how some of those items would have made their way into our country here in the United States. Now the photos I have should give us $200 or $300. I don't have hardly anything into them, and I've got a ton of other photos besides just these. So this is a huge area to look for. Well, there we have it. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
Prepare for action. Fire red, beautiful. Fire rose, so smooth. Fire peach, so creamy.
Beautiful.
New Laren cosmetics are here with 23 new extra lush Laren colors.
So smooth, so creamy, so moist.
New from Laren to let you be
beautiful now.